This deserves to be on the Mount Rushmore of early 2000s movies. So the other night, I watched Josie and the Pussycats. It's from 2001. It stars Rachel Lee Cook, Rosario Dawson, Tara Reid, has Alan Cumming, Parker Posey, and it's based off the Archie comics, where it focuses on Josie and the Pussycats as they get discovered, get signed to a major label, and rise to stardom. I threw this movie on because I wasn't really feeling well, and I wanted what I assumed was going to be a pretty passive watch. And also my 6-year-old daughter has been really into this soundtrack, and I wanted to scope it out to see if it's something she might be able to watch soon. The answer to that is no. But that's not because it's a bad movie. This movie, in fact, is amazing. It had so much more depth and weight than I ever could have anticipated. I just assumed it was going to be a movie about a band, but instead it's this really poignant commentary on pop culture and trend setting and music and what the world was like at this point in time. This came out in April 2001, and it's such an interesting time because it's a few months before 9/11. And had this come out after that, I feel like they would have had to change a lot about this, including the beginning. It just came out at a perfect time where this stage of pop culture was at a fever pitch. We were about a year removed from the hype of Y2K, and the decade was starting to find its footing in terms of what it was going to be. There was this general sort of bright, twinkly aesthetic that I largely attribute to the Millennium album by Backstreet Boys. This is what I looked like. This was the product of pop culture and thinking I was cool. And I was not. And this movie captured the essence of all that so perfectly and just continuously skewered it over and over again. Carson Daly shows up and he's this psycho killer who openly admits to being part of some conspiracy to use pop music to take over the world. And as somebody who was 15 at this point in time and was obsessed with MTV, this was all just so funny to me. I just don't know if I've ever seen something that so perfectly captured what it felt like at that time. And when I think of early 2000s movies like this, a lot of times I think of some crude humor, things that didn't necessarily age super well. And so I think that's what I expected here. But I think this movie aged so well. There's so much relevance to this even today. This movie talks a lot about consumerism and just selling products to people, and that is still so prominent now. Maybe even more so now that everybody has their own individual brand. But to me, the real message of this movie, I think, was just the theme of wanting to be liked. The band is so eager to make it that they overlook a lot of red flags just because this looks like their shot to finally become famous. There's so many people in this movie who are just pretending to be something that they are not, all in the service of being liked. Again, I thought this was going to make me liked. It did not. And I feel like that's such a tender and universal theme. People just want to feel noticed. People just want to be heard. And those feelings can be easily manipulated, whether it's to buy product, vote for certain politicians, or even just what you're willing to put up with in your own personal day-to-day. And I just never saw any of this messaging coming from this movie. It's also just incredibly funny. Parker Posey and Alan Cumming as a team are amazing. I was in literal tears through some parts of this movie because I was laughing so hard. If you've never seen this, especially if you're my age, I'm 40, check this out. I think this will resonate with you. Be sure to like this video. Let me know if you've seen this movie and what you think in the comments. Follow along as I try to get closer to 1,000 followers, and so you can see more movie reviews like this. All right, take care.